Hey you guys, it's your girl Internet, and today I'll be coming at you with a video. It's called the Inconvenient Truth About the Democratic Party. Okay, you guys, we already know we finna start getting ready for voting for presidency again next year. So it's never too late to learn about, like the truth about the Democrats or the Republicans. And the truth, just some of the back history, because not all the time we all, go back. We just see a person on the screen and we were like, okay, I like what he's saying. I like what he's saying. But sometimes, the majority of the time, they're just lying to get your vote. So, today we're going to be just taking out a little glimpse of the Democratic Party. And then I'll try to see, can I find something about Republican. But I think it's probably going to say something about both in this video. I'm thinking so. But if you would like to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on so you can see me. And let's get into this video.
When you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party comes to mind? The Republicans or the Democrats? Most people would probably say the Democrats, but this answer is incorrect. Since its founding in 1829, the Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination.
Wow.
The Democratic Party defended...
Okay. Like, I do remember, like, in high school, like, they said, like, the Democrats and the Republicans, like, they switched, like, the true meaning. I want to say, like, I remember, like, something like that when I was looking something up. Like, they had switched the purpose of the Democrats and the Republicans. Like, one was trying to do for this one, like they just switch sides. Like, okay, I'm gonna stand for everything like this, and y'all stand for that. But so this is like just some background stuff about it. And
slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s.
Whoa. Pump the brakes. Really founded the Ku Klux Klan? Oh my goodness. Perpetrated lynchings, fought against the Civil Rights Act. Do your research, kids.
And 1960s. In contrast,
wow, and
the Republican Party was founded in
And then they had like a little Ku Klux Klan person walking down there waving.
1954 as an anti-slavery party. Its mission was to stop the spread of slavery into the new Western territories with the aim of abolishing it entirely. This effort, however, was dealt a major blow by the Supreme Court in the 1857 case, Dred Scott versus Sandford.
Okay.
The court ruled that slaves aren't citizens, they're property. The 7 justices who voted in favor of slavery, all Democrats. The 2 justices who dissented, both Republicans. The slavery question was, of course, ultimately resolved by a bloody civil war. The commander-in-chief during that war was the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, the man who freed the slaves. 6 days after the Confederate Army surrendered, John Wilkes Booth, a Democrat, assassinated President Lincoln.
Couldn't take it.
Lincoln's vice president...
They could not stand, a lot of people could not stand him because he was like, he wanted to free them. And a lot of people, like, a lot of the slaves, they didn't even get free. They didn't even get free. And then, like, some of them, that's the only thing they knew, so they just stayed. They didn't know how to, go out on their own.
A Democrat named Andrew Johnson assumed the presidency. But Johnson adamantly opposed Lincoln's plan to integrate the newly freed slaves into the South's economic and social order. Johnson and the Democratic Party were unified in their opposition to the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, the 14th Amendment, which gave blacks citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, which gave blacks the vote. All three passed only because of universal Republican support. During the era of Reconstruction, federal troops stationed in the South helped secure rights for the newly freed slaves. Hundreds of black men were elected to Southern state legislatures as Republicans, and 22 black Republicans served in the U.S. Congress by 1900. The Democrats did not elect a black man to Congress until 1935.
Oh, wow.
But after Reconstruction ended, when the federal troops went home, Democrats roared back into power in the South. They quickly reestablished white supremacy across the region with measures like black codes, laws that restricted the ability of blacks to own property and run businesses, and they imposed poll taxes and literacy tests used to subvert black citizens.
And they only did that because they knew, like, black people, they didn't supposed to be knowing how to read and stuff like that, and they couldn't read good. And sometimes they could be in read good, and they still would say, nope, you didn't do this right, or you didn't say this word correctly. Like, they would just find things to just keep them from voting. And that's the reason I feel like everyone should vote, but, you have a lot of people that just don't want to vote. I mean, because, like, I feel like a lot of people, especially black people, like, a lot of people died for that right, and a lot of people really fought for that right for us to be able to vote. But a lot of people that just don't want to vote. I can name 5 off the top of my head. Like, they just don't want to vote. So, I mean, to me, sometimes with some of these presidents, I really just feel like you damned if you do and damned if you don't. So
citizens' right to vote. And how was all of this enforced? By terror. Much of it instigated by the Ku Klux Klan, founded by a Democrat, Nathan Bedford Forrest. As historian Eric Foner, himself a Democrat, notes, in effect, the Klan was a military force serving the interests of the Democratic Party. President Woodrow Wilson, a Democrat, shared many views with the Klan. He resegregated many federal agencies and even screened the first movie ever played at the White House, the racist film The Birth of a Nation, originally entitled The Klansman. A few decades later, the only serious...
I do remember that show right there because, like, I want to say it was on something. And they had it like, they had black people trained like they were like just wild beasts just trying to just take white women and stuff like that. I do remember seeing it. I can't remember what movie I had seen it, but they was playing it. And that's what it was. They was like, oh, black people are beasts. They want to try to make them savages and all like that. Like, when we're not the ones that be acting like that. I haven't seen anyone act like that. I don't think people act like that, especially not well.
Serious congressional opposition to the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964 came from Democrats. 80% of Republicans in Congress supported the bill. Less than 70% of Democrats did. Democratic senators filibustered the bill for 75 days until Republicans mustered the few extra votes needed to break the logjam. And when all of their efforts to enslave blacks, keep them enslaved, and then keep them from voting had failed, the Democrats came up with a new strategy. If black people are going to vote, they might as well vote for Democrats. As President Lyndon Johnson was purported to have said about the Civil Rights Act, I'll have them voting Democrat for 200 years. So now, the Democratic Party prospers on the votes of the very people it has spent much of its history oppressing. Democrats falsely claim that the Republican Party is the villain, when in reality, it's the failed policies of the Democratic Party that have kept blacks down. Massive government welfare has decimated the black family. Opposition to school choice,
keeping the black man out the house. That's one of them, trying to give them, in order to give the mother like money, they gotta make sure they don't have a man in the house and all like that. Then like now with the schools,
has kept them trapped in failing schools. Politically correct policing
don't teach them the right type of things. They'll teach other schools, they'll teach them something else, and it just sad. They don't have the right types of books and stuff like that the other schools might have. And like the books, like I know back then the books would be so old, like, cause I remember back in the 90s, like when I was like a little girl, like the book I had, it was basically kind of falling apart, and then we didn't get new books until like half the semester. And after, I guess, I don't know what happened with that, but I guess somebody kept on pushing some buttons until they eventually got us some more books, though. But yeah, like we didn't even get. I remember my little old first grade little book. It was just the little paper. It was so little thick, and it was about tore apart. I don't know, was it from the child? It could have just been from the last person that had it, though. But there still was some raggedy books.
Has left black neighborhoods defenseless against violent crime. So when you...
I'm so scared to call the police. I'm not lying. I'm so scared to call the police because as black people, they will try to make it your fault. And they'll shoot you. I'm telling you, like, I am so scared of the police. I'm telling you, like, we have a state trooper that stay up the road from us. I be so scared to see him because I be thinking he like somebody else that's gonna come and pull me over. I'm like, I know. I put my signal light on and everything like I was turning over him. I be scared.
You think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party should come to mind? I'm Carol Swain, professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt University for Prager University.
So you guys, you tell me what y'all thought about that, and how would you vote? Well, no, do not tell me how you would vote, because I feel like that's an opinion for you. And when at the polls, when you, because I can't stand, I can't stand that when someone try to tell me how to vote. If I'm gonna vote, let me vote in my peace. Let me vote in my peace. Just like when people was hollering about Donald Trump and Biden and stuff like that. I'm like, let me vote my peace, because I'm not gonna tell you how to vote. So don't tell me how to vote. I'm not gonna tell you, because I feel like that's your privacy, that's your opinion, and that's your voice. I'm not finna change your voice for me. I don't want you to change my voice. I don't want you to try, because you're not going to do it anyway. But still, though, have respect for someone else's opinion. If they vote Democrat or Republican, that's their voice. You can't take no one else's voice from them. Keep that in mind. So the next time somebody want to try to tell you, oh, you wrong, you don't supposed to do that, you say, that's my voice. You can't hush me. And you're not going to hush me. So, tell me what y'all think. Leave your comments down below. And I'll catch y'all guys in the next one. Bye.